Hello, my name is Nani and welcome to my channel where I share with you my top tips on how to look good, feel good, and smell good from the inside out. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 fragrances from my collection that I feel like smell a little bit like a cocktail. So they smell a bit boozy. If you guys like this type of content, make sure that you go ahead and give me a big thumbs up, and of course make sure that you subscribe to my channel for more. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now the first fragrance that I want to mention is going to be this right here, which is Gilded Fox by Rose. This is one of my absolute favorite gourmand fragrances, simply because it smells like a spiked hot cocoa drink, pretty much. So this one is categorized as an Oriental vanilla, and this was launched in 2016. The top notes for this one are cacao and cardamom. Middle notes are butter and rum, and the base notes are vetiver, amber, and cedar. This is just delicious, honestly. I really don't know how else to describe it besides the fact that in the opening, you definitely get a huge burst of the cacao. So you get kind of like that chocolatey, nutty type of smell. But the longer that it actually dries down on your skin, you get a little bit more of a smoothness, a little bit more of a sweetness from the amber notes. And you definitely get a little bit of a rum smell in it. And it definitely smells like a spiked hot cocoa drink, which again smells and sounds delicious in my opinion. It's extremely aromatic. You definitely do get kind of like these strong cacao notes. You get a little bit of the woody notes the longer that it lingers on your skin, but it just becomes this delicious, aromatic, sweet cacao smell, which basically makes you want a hot cocoa. Even if you don't spike your drink, this definitely makes me feel very cozy, very comforted. It just smells absolutely delicious. And I know that I've seen a couple of people talk about this fragrance and not talk about the fact that that's what it smells like. But to me, I really just get a spiked hot cocoa drink, but it's not overly pungent to where you feel like you're walking around smelling like booze, if that makes sense. It's extremely cozy, extremely comforting, and extremely aromatic. This actually lasts and lingers on the skin for hours. So I feel like, especially if you're wearing this during the fall and winter time, this would be perfect. And even if you're wearing this just during nighttime, if you're trying to cozy up and watch a movie, this is absolutely amazing and delicious. So this is, again, Rose Gilded Fox. Now, of course, the next fragrance that I want to mention to you is going to be Jessica Simpson's Fancy Love. I've mentioned this to you guys many times before, but this actually has a champagne accord or a champagne note in the very opening. And of course, I definitely had to mention this. This one is categorized as an Oriental Floral, and it was launched in 2009. The top notes for this one are bergamot, peach blossom, champagne. Middle notes are jasmine, lotus, rose, frangipani, and peony. And then the base is amber, woody notes, patchouli, and musk. Now, of course, I had to mention this because, again, in the notes itself, in the top notes, there's a champagne accord. So this definitely does give you kind of like a sparkling, fizzy, bubbly type of opening for sure. It's definitely sweet. It's a bit musky and obviously has some floral notes in here. The biggest thing that I find in here besides the champagne accord is the frangipani and amber. I feel like this definitely makes this scent a little bit more richer, a bit more sophisticated and sweet. And then of course in the opening you get that burst of the champagne and peach blossom notes, which does give this a little bit of a boozy type of effect. But this definitely is a perfect brunch or lunch date with family and friends where you're sipping on your mimosas, eating your fruits and pancakes and bacon or whatever it is that you like to eat. The champagne accord definitely gives it that type of energy to me, and I absolutely love this scent, especially because it does have some beautiful floral and musky elements to it, which makes it a very sensual and very attractive scent as well. And it's extremely affordable. Obviously, it's a celebrity scent. So again, this is going to be one of my favorite boozy smelling type of fragrances, and this is Jessica Simpson's Fancy Love. Now, the next fragrance I want to mention to you is going to be this right here, which is Lakey Amethyst. This one is categorized as a floral fruity scent, and it was launched in 2007. The top notes for this one are basically a bunch of berries. So it's blackcurrant, blueberry, blackberry, mulberry, and strawberry. The middle notes are peony, pepper, ylang ylang, rose. And then the base is musk, vanilla, and woody notes. Now, I absolutely love this scent. I've mentioned this to you guys that I typically like to wear this scent more casually. But the biggest thing about this scent is all of the notes, especially the top notes, all of the berries, It basically makes this smell like a sangria with like mint leaves in it. That's basically what this scent smells like to me. It smells very kind of like juicy, but at the same time it has this minty airiness to it, which makes it perfect for year round, makes it a perfect transitional scent where you can wear it from daytime to nighttime, and just makes it a little bit more like refreshing, if that makes sense. If you guys have ever made a sangria before, then you know that as a general rule, it's definitely going to be very fruity. So just think of kind of like a dry red wine mixed with just some chopped up like fruit all over the place, a little bit tart, but it's still very sweet and refreshing all at the same time. It does have a little bit of a minty element to it. That's pretty much what this smells like to me. This is a beautiful scent to wear as well during the spring and summertime. It's a beautiful combination between the floral as well as the fruity notes, but in my opinion, the biggest thing that I get is definitely the black currant, as well as just the mix of the berries in the opening. It's very fruity, and so I feel like you do kind of have to like fruits, especially like the berries, for you to really enjoy this fragrance itself. But I feel like this is one that definitely transitions beautifully from daytime to nighttime, as well as throughout all the seasons. I absolutely love this fragrance. I definitely feel like it's underrated, but I do feel like you do have to enjoy these types of fruit in your fragrances, and I do feel like you kind of have to be in the mood to wear this. I wear this more casually, but I just love this scent. So that's Lakey Amethyst. Now, the next fragrance that I want to mention to you is going to be one of my all-time favorite signature scents, which is Armani C. This one is categorized as a chypre fruity, and it was launched in 2013. The top notes are cassis buds, or black currant, basically. Middle notes are freesia and rose, and then the base is vanilla, ambroxan, patchouli, and woody notes. Now, this one definitely, to me, because of the black currant, this smells like a sweet red wine. A lot of times black currant can kind of smell a little bit more like a drier type of wine smell, but because of all of the additional notes in this fragrance, it definitely smells like a sweet red wine to me. So it's more of like a sweet fruity like rose with the creamy vanilla base. It basically smells like a delicious sweet red wine. This still smells extremely elegant in my opinion, very classy. It definitely has a little bit more of a mature, sophisticated take, and it does smell like a very confident, very professional type of scent. This is one that definitely can be worn year round. As I mentioned, this is a beautiful signature scent. This is also one that I don't typically gravitate towards if I'm trying to dress a little bit more casually. If I am dressed a little bit more casually, I do wear the one before this, which was Lakey Amethyst. But if I am trying to do something a little bit more business casual, if I'm going on a date, something along those lines, this is one that I typically gravitate towards because it's a very classy but very formal and seductive type of scent, if that makes sense. Let me know down below if you guys kind of get that sweet red wine smell as well. Like it just gives you, or is reminiscent of, a sweet red wine, and I absolutely love this. Again, the versatility is there. This definitely lasts anywhere between maybe 7-8 hours or so on the skin, but of course if you spray the clothes, it definitely lingers a lot more. It leaves this beautiful trail behind you, but what I will say is that this does sit a little bit closer to the skin. It's not going to project hugely, but it's still a gorgeous scent, very classy, very elegant, and it just smells like a sweet, creamy, soft, seductive red wine. I absolutely love this. So again, that's Armani C. And then of course, last but not least, this is going to be Rihanna Rebelle Fleur. Again, this is a really popular celebrity scent, and I feel like it's definitely for good reason, especially if you love fruity fragrances and if you love coconut in your fragrances. Now, in terms of this scent, this is categorized as a chypre fruity, and it was launched in 2010. The notes in here in the top has plum, peach, and red berries. The middle notes are tuberose, hibiscus, violet, and coconut. And then the base is musk, patchouli, amber, and vanilla. This one, in my opinion, the most prominent notes are definitely the coconut and the tuberose, especially throughout the time that it lingers on your skin. Those are the top two notes that I get, but you do still get some of the plum notes, especially right in the opening. You get some of the hibiscus flower, you get a little bit of the violet, you get a little bit of the kind of like amber sweetness and vanilla sweetness in the base as well. But this to me smells very tropical. I've mentioned that to you guys before. This is not one that I gravitate towards very often because of how tropical it smells to me. But to me, this kind of smells like something that you would get either like a smoothie from Jamba Juice or just one of those like slushy pina coladas. That's basically what this smells like to me. It's definitely very, very, very sweet. It's creamy. It definitely smells like something that's perfect for warm weather or just vacation itself. I don't know why, but every time I smell this, I think of a bathing suit. I think of being on somebody's island. I think of greenery and plants and flowers all over the place. I think of sunscreen. I just think of just kind of like a more lightweight, very fun, just very vacation-esque type of fragrance in my opinion. As I mentioned, it's extremely sweet. You do get mostly the coconut and tuberose, at least on my skin. I do have a subscriber that said that she doesn't smell the coconut, and I'm so surprised because that's all I get. But it's just a beautiful scent. Like I mentioned, if you love fruity fragrances, you'll enjoy this, and if you love coconut, you'll definitely enjoy this as well. It's gonna last you maybe 4 or 5 hours, but it's a beautiful tropical pina colada type scent. So again, that's Rihanna's Aux Belles Fleurs. So these are going to be all the fragrances that I wanted to mention to you from my collection that smell a little bit boozy, that smell a bit like a cocktail, and just fragrances that I feel like definitely have a little bit of an edge to them. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure that you go ahead and give me a big thumbs up, and of course make sure that you subscribe to my channel for more. I hope you guys are staying safe. God willing, I'll see you guys next time.